I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hunted as prey. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
There is a time and a season. And when I looked this time and saw marches where in some cases young whites outnumbered the blacks marching, I know that it's a different time and a different season. When I looked and saw people in Germany marching for George Floyd, it's a different time and a different season. When they went in front of the parliament in London, England, and said it's a different time and a different season, I come to tell you, America, this is the time of dealing with accountability in the criminal justice system.
Some of you are artists, some of you are bankers, some of you are lawyers, some of you own shop stores. You are important. Your individual power, your individual right is very, very important. We can all join together to make this a better world.
So we're protesting in peace, but we mean business. This is divine business. The ancestors used music and song as a way to communicate unspoken joy and unspoken pain. We're doing all of that right now, and we're standing on their shoulders, and we're sharing a message of hope with the world in support of Black lives.
What you're looking at right now, officers and protesters in Nebraska coming together and doing the Cupid Shuffle. This all happening after law enforcement and black leaders signed an agreement called Hold Cops Accountable. That agreement means they would hold monthly community meetings to discuss concerns and complaints about the Lincoln Police Department.
The only reason we're here is to make sure that you got a voice. That's it. There we go. Don't think for a second that he represents who these cops are from all over the county and around this nation.
I personally love the protest. Right. I would like to be out here helping. Can we sing that together? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall.
Years ago, I went to march. Now I remember a young white lady looked me right in the face and said, "Nigga, go home." But when I was here last Thursday, and Miss Carr and I was headed back to the airport, I stopped near the police station. And as I was talking to a reporter, a young white girl, she didn't look no older than 11 years old. She tagged my suit jacket. And I looked around and I braced myself. And she looked at me and said, "No justice, no peace."
That changed the world.
Daddy changed the world.
Dear American non-black, if an American black person is telling you about an experience about being black, please do not eagerly bring up examples from your own life. Don't say, it's just like when You have suffered. Everyone in the world has suffered. But you have not suffered precisely because you are an American black. Don't be quick to find alternative explanations for what happened. Don't say, oh, it's not really race, it's class. Oh, it's not really race, it's gender. Oh, it's not really race, it's the Cookie Monster. But racism is about the power of a group. And in America, it's white folks who have that power. How? Well, white folks don't get treated like shit in upper-class African-American communities. And white folks don't get denied bank loans precisely because they're white. And black juries don't give white criminals worse sentences than black criminals for the same crime.
This is Jamal. Jamal is a boy who lives in a poor neighborhood. He has a friend named Kevin, who lives in a wealthy neighborhood. All of Jamal's neighbors are African American, and all of Kevin's neighbors are white. Because Jamal's school district is mostly funded by property taxes, his school is not very well funded. His classrooms are overcrowded, his teachers are underpaid, and he doesn't have access to high-quality tutors or extracurricular activities. Kevin's school district is also funded by property taxes, so his school is very well funded. His classrooms are never crowded, his teachers are...
The bottom line is, I've been hearing a little bit of chatter in the internet about voting versus protest, politics and participation versus civil disobedience and direct action. This is not a either or. This is a both and. To bring about real change, we both have to highlight a problem and make people in power uncomfortable, but we also have to translate that into practical solutions and laws that can be implemented and we can monitor and make sure we're following our laws. What can we do? Number one, we know there are specific evidence-based reforms that, if we put in place today, would build trust, save lives, would not show an increase in crime. Those are included in the 21st Century Policing Task Force report. You can find it on Obama.org. Number two, a lot of mayors and local elected officials read and supported the task force report, but then there wasn't enough follow-up. So today I am urging every mayor in this country to review your use of force policies with members of your community and commit to report on planned reforms. What are the specific steps you can take? And I should add, by the way, that the original task force report was done several years ago. Since that time, we've actually collected data, in part because we implemented some of these reform ideas. So we now have more information and more data as to what works.
We are the ones who are responding to the 401 years of generational trauma and oppression that our ancestors bore. We're standing on their shoulders. We are the ones who can change a generation for women. We are the ones who can change a generation for the young. We have the power right now. We are the ones. That's it. I've done marches. I've done protests. I've marched for science. I've marched for anything that is on the side of humanity, because God created humanity, and everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves a chance to live a life pursuing liberty and happiness. But the thing about that, the thing that I want to tell you about that, is everyone doesn't get a chance. So that's what's the same. What's different is I think that we're making a dent in that power structure right now.
That we remind them that we are dedicated, and this is a lifelong dedication. Guys, we don't leave here and stop, you know. We don't leave here and stop. This is longevity.
There's always evil in the world. there's always going to be evil in the world. There's always going to be trouble in the world. But the thing about it is, if we stop acting on the side of good, then everything goes and we lose all that we've worked for. And the love in the world is the thing that I believe in. I don't believe in trying to change people who don't want to change, but I believe everyone has that love in them. So all we have to do is put it on display. And you know what's going to happen? Less evil in the world, more of that. That's just how it works. It's a very simple thing. You know that as a child. You learn that as a child. We learn lots of toxic ideologies. A lot of toxic ideology we learn when we're growing up in the world, and we have no idea sometimes that we're taking it in. Right. There's a great unlearning that is potentially taking place right now. And if we let that happen, and we get out of the way of our ego, and out of the way of driving for power, we can have true freedom and true love.
So after this listing of don'ts, what's the do? I'm not sure. Try listening, maybe. Hear what is being said. And remember that it's not about you. American blacks are not telling you that you are to blame. They're just telling you what is. If you don't understand, ask questions. If you're uncomfortable about asking questions, say you are uncomfortable about asking questions and then ask anyway. It's easy to tell when a question is coming from a good place. Then listen some more. Sometimes people just want to feel heard.
And we have to get to voting. 100 million people did not vote in the last election. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and apathy. And we have to fight apathy more than anything. And we have to fight for black lives. And right now, if we don't do that, nobody will. We the ones. We are the chosen ones. We can change this.
The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit. Put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do it. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that pumps marijuana through. Now is the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home.